Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
I'm
nice
good.
to be here with you.
Yeah, Thomas from the Sunday Times.
Chris from Randburg.
Oh, from Randburg. Okay. No, I just wanted to find out from you what inspired you to enter into the bacon jam.
The world of bacon jam is a long story.
Yeah.
So I was part of a celebrity cooking reality TV show.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of it, but it's MasterChef.
Okay.
Which I ended up winning many years ago, long time ago.
Yeah.
And then because of that, I got invited to a whole bunch of kind of food events. And one of them was it was in Namibia. I forget what it was called. And while I was there, somebody had bacon jam.
Yes.
So I would love to tell you, but it's something that others have made before. And I tasted it, and it was amazing. So I decided to come home and make my own. And then I played with the recipe quite a lot.
Yeah.
Over a period of time.
Okay.
And
then which year? If
we're going back now, I want to say this is about 2015.
Oh, okay.
And then so I used to just make it mostly for my own home use. And then every now and then I would do fundraisers for a children's home that I'm quite fond of called the Villa of Hope, and I'd sell some for them.
Okay.
And then during lockdown, I decided to do, because there was no stand-up happening.
Yeah.
I did a chef's qualification at the HTA School of Culinary Arts.
Yes.
And as part of the course that I did, you've got to do a certain amount of hours in a professional kitchen. And I was working in a place called, it's sadly no longer around, it was called the Underground Bakery.
All right. As you've mentioned before, you spoke about during the lockdown. Did the lockdown prompt you into opening, going to the bacon jam industry? Because I know with regards to lockdown, there was no movement, there was no concerts or events.
It was exactly that.
Yeah.
So it was during lockdown. As I said, I never would have thought it if I wasn't doing the chef's course. And in my practical, it was only when I was working in that kitchen that I got the inspiration to maybe try it as a thing. And as I say, everyone who tastes it really likes it. The problem is getting people to taste it.
Then, who are your target markets?
People who like delicious food.
Like your African cuisine?
It works on African cuisine. So a lot of people ask me, like, how do you have it? So today you had it on a croissant. A lot of people have it as like a relish on a burger. And a lot of people like to use it as a topping for, say, like if we just talk African cuisine, pap. Others like to put it through, like I've got a friend who puts it on his pizza. And I've got another friend, some people put it on a cheese board, some people just have it on a steak, some people eat it straight out the jar, some people like, there's so many different, my mom mixes it through a bolognese to give it bolognese a little bit more zing. There's a lot of different uses for it.
Then now how do you balance between your comedy and the bacon jam?
So the two are essentially separate. So I think if it wasn't so successful, I probably would have stopped making it after lockdown. So the cool thing about this is it lasts forever. So I can make a big batch, and then I don't have to keep making it every day. So I make the big batch. I'm not as active at the markets anymore myself. I used to go and sell it myself. These days I've got people who go and sell for me.
Nice.
And so that gives me a lot more time to still focus on comedy, and I'm very involved in other food things. I've got a braai festival that I do every year. And so, because they take up a lot of time. So I still source all the ingredients because that's a big challenge. I don't cook it because of the quantities I cook it now. I have a lady who cooks with me. So I'm still involved in that, and then we work as a team. But it takes me, to make a batch, takes me maybe 2 days, including getting the ingredients and the cooking, because it's a long cook. I have to cook this for 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. 8 hours.
Yes.
And then, then then after that, once it's cooked and bottled, then it's just a matter of getting it to the right markets and selling it.
Then when you go into comedy, I just want to find out from you, how long does it take for you to come up with the material? And do you make jokes out of general stuff or stuff that we random South African faces, on a daily basis?
So for me, comedy's got to be all about truth.
Yes.
So whatever your truth is at the time, that's what you make jokes about. Whatever's important to you.
Yeah.
So, for example, some people are super passionate about what's happening in America right now.
Yeah.
But I'm more interested, if I'm honest, about my family and my neighborhood and South Africa in general.
Yeah.
So that's what I normally write about. In terms of how long it takes to make the material, sometimes it can happen. Sometimes you get inspiration and you get a whole bunch all in one day, and sometimes you go for months without coming up with any new games. So it's there's no set formula.
Then what's been your biggest challenge in putting a show together?
I think coming up with the material is the biggest challenge. That is without a doubt. So, like in terms of the one-man shows I've done, like I think my favorite one is still the one about the birth of my child.
Okay.
Have you got children?
Yes, I do.
There's a lot of stuff that you go through that nobody tells you about.
Yeah.
So it was just, and then that one just came very easily, and it was also a nice way to reminisce about the pregnancy and the birth and the first couple of years. But that's a long time ago now.
In your own view, when you look at South African comedy industry, do you think you are still in a good path?
Or in the industry itself?
Yeah, the industry itself.
I think so. I think we took a massive knock over COVID.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to use the word lost. We lost a few really good comedians who were on the verge of going bigger, but because now there was no work, a lot of them had to, say for example, move back to their hometowns. And then we also lost the comedy clubs, which was a place for people to showcase where they perform. And it's going to take a long time to. I mean, we're already 3 years out of that thing, 4 years out of that thing. But the industry hasn't recovered yet, in my opinion.
Then, Chris, how do you stay relevant in this industry? Because I think I've known you since the days of Community back then, 2003.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I've been doing this thing for 26 years now.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know if I had the answer, I'd be more relevant.
Yeah.
But there's a few of us that all started together that are still, like we did the show recently, the Comedy Yamagrootman.
Yeah.
Guys like David Cow, me, Ronnie Madimula, Kagisula Diche, David Woodson, etc., Joe Rustini, especially the PMS guys. I think we're always talking, I think the best way to stay relevant is to try and stay as funny as you can, keep evolving, do the material that makes people laugh. You'll see a lot of us are doing jokes now about getting old or having kids, and it's because that's where we are.
Yeah. Then, lastly, with regards to comedy, what are you busy with behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes?
Yeah, because I met you last week during the movie premiere.
Yeah.
So I sense that you're doing something behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, so I don't want to talk too much about it right now, but there is going to be a recipe book coming out soon, hopefully. I'm working really, really hard on my braai festival called the Ultimate Braai Festival. That's going to be in October. It's our third one.
Okay.
There's a comedy element to it as well, obviously. I do a cooking comedy show because I mix the two with a guy called Pete Goffwood called Don't Burn Your Sausage. So we're busy planning some dates for that. I never stop working. So there's a couple of kind of television productions, but there's always a lot of those. To get them off the ground is very difficult. Working on some of those, like always at it. And then you've got to mix in random other stuff. I coach my daughter's soccer teams.
Yeah.
And then I work on the Residents Association. I wish that was a joke.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm busy all the time. We never stop.
Yeah.